This is Feed My Starving Children by Frank Lesnar. To get started, what is Feed My Starving Children and what is their target market and their social media outreach? Well, Feed My Starving Children is a not-for-profit organization that works with other organizations and ministries to help end world hunger. To be more specific, they help get help from schools, churches, places of worship, orphanages, health clinics, and other organizations to help fund and transport the packed foods to the hungry. And Feed My Starving Children has social media outreach. They have their logo in three different forms on their website, each to perfectly fit each social media website. So basically, Instagram has their own way of, I don't know how to put it, but scaling photos and the image that's on the website for meant for Instagram is perfectly scaled to fit an Instagram post. Same thing with Facebook, same thing with Twitter. So they would like for you to use those if you're on social media, advertising Feed My Starving Children or posting about them. And they'd like to verify that you use the correct logo. So they have those on the website. They also allow you to connect with them using hashtags on social media. They have hashtag Feed My Starving Children FMSC and hashtag FMSC Life. Clicking on these tags will allow you to see other posts or people within the company and what Feed My Starving Children is up to. What is their mission statement? So right here on this slide, this is their mission statement. We want to reach everyone until all are fed. They also have feeding God's starving children, hungry in body and spirit. That's another quote that's on their website. But the main mission statement is we want to reach everyone until all are fed. So this is their mission statement. They are committed to feeding the hungry and less fortunate until there is not another child that is hungry. What are two strengths that Feed My Starving Children has as a company? Well, one of their strengths is they have great support from all their donors and volunteers who come to help in their factories and come help pack foods for the hungry. They are also great at putting their name out there and advertising it. And me, just for me personally, I feel like I've always known about Feed My Starving Children ever since I was a baby. So they've always done a great job at getting their name out there and making sure they're known and the work that they're doing is known. And what are two weaknesses that the company has? A weakness is a limit on how many people can volunteer because there are only 4 states with locations, permanent locations. Those are Arizona, Minnesota, Texas, and Illinois. Um, so while many people across the United States are sending their own donations in and contributing that way, they aren't able to go in and actually help pack foods unless they have the rare occurrence where they have a temporary, what's it called? Temporary setup where they will come to random places throughout the United States and the world and set up shop, and volunteers will come in. They usually will probably last about a weekend, but yeah. Another weakness is the packaging. That they have fixed this mostly recently because they used to use like boxes and cans to pack the food. It wasn't as easy to always transport the food to overseas and wherever the food's being transported to with the boxes and the cans. So switching to the plastic bags have been a real it's been for the better for the company. Um, yeah. Now, two opportunities that the company is looking for. One of them is growth. Currently, as I mentioned earlier, they only have locations in 4 states, and again, those states are Arizona, Minnesota, Texas, and Illinois. Um, so the company is always looking for, and they would always love opportunities to open newer and permanent locations in different states, different from the states they already have them, and to expand the amount of people that can volunteer. Another opportunity is always just looking for new volunteers. The volunteer support is great, but even in the the places where there are permanent locations, they would always love more volunteers, and yeah, the more the better. The more food packed, the more children that are fed, and the better it is. Now, some threats, two threats that are going to affect the company. One threat that isn't as big of a threat anymore, but still kind of is or was the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID made it a lot more difficult for the volunteers to come in and help pack food with the social distancing. No one was really able to come in, and also for sanitary reasons, it wasn't easy to go and pack the food. Um, so it really made a big impact, a negative impact on their end goal that they had of making sure that no child ever goes starving again, because they weren't able to get the food overseas. And even if they were able to pack food, transporting it was an issue too. Transporting, you couldn't transport too much during that time. So yeah, it was an issue. And another issue that they have is keeping up with the growing population. As the population is always growing, so is the number of people or children who are going without food and are starving. So keeping up with that number is a real challenge for Feed My Starving Children, and they're always trying to find new ways to um, fix that, I guess, and yeah, keep up with the numbers, keep up with the rising number of starving children. So it's not easy, but they've found ways to figure it out. Now, how does Feed My Starving Children advertise their work as a company? Feed My Starving Children advertises their not-for-profit by holding special events. I already talked about this, but I will talk about it again, where they set up temporary locations around the country and the world by posting physical announcements in areas such as flyers, and handing out flyers as well. These events allow the company to bring in volunteers who want to help but aren't able to because they don't have a location near them, and allows the donors to help as well. And it gets more food packed because it's there's only the four permanent locations, so there's always food being packed there. But the more temporary locations and special events there are, the more food that's packed. Feed My Starving Children also advertises in schools by handing out flyers in school, and I can attest to this because I'm only a freshman and I was just in high school, so I was always seeing flyers about getting volunteer hours because every student needs them for college, and Feed My Starving Children was always a great way to get hours and a great way to help contribute to the hunger problem in the world and help make the world better. So they get a lot of high school students and even younger students in middle school and elementary school come in to help and contribute. They also, like I also mentioned earlier, with the organizations that Feed My Starving Children works with, schools were one of them. So that means the health organizations and the churches are all with the schools. People from the churches will come and volunteer just as much as people from schools will, and they also get funding help from uh, churches and schools. So they are always getting help from their partners. So in conclusion, Feed My Starving Children does great work. They've been working since 1987, which is, my math is correct, is about 37, yes, 37 years. Um, they've been working to end the world hunger problem. The research shows that they feed roughly 1,227,000 children a year. The number varies by year, but that was the amount of children that they fed last year. So it wouldn't be possible without the amount of great volunteers and the great donors that they have as a company. And yeah, and finally, they will not stop uh, trying and not stop getting volunteers and packing foods until they reach their end goal of making sure no child ever goes hungry again. Thank you.